Stop making excuses. That's the message, and that's the topic for today. Fellas, this is for you. This is for me. This is for those young teenagers that are becoming young men. This is for men. You know, one of the biggest problems we're having today in society amongst men is there's a lot of excuses and a lot of blame being pointed at everyone but self. We have gotten to a point as men to where we lack accountability. And this isn't to bash anybody. This isn't to try to bring anyone down. This is to empower us men, especially the young brothers. Because at the end of the day, we are the future. We are leaders. We're supposed to be leaders. And you can't be a leader if you refuse to take ownership and responsibility. So with that being said, take accountability for your life. And if you are honest with yourself, I'm pretty sure you can pinpoint back in the past to certain moments and certain times where you just made a poor decision or you made multiple poor decisions. And that's what has led you to be where you are today. It's okay. It's not everybody else's fault. It's your fault. And that's okay. Now, that's not always the case for some people. Some of us was strictly just living in survival mode to where we couldn't really make certain decisions to get ahead and to do things because we were literally kind of stuck. And when you operating in survival mode, you're just trying to get to the next day, the next moment. You're not thinking so far ahead. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? However, just take accountability for all of that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not wrong. You did what you had to do. You made certain decisions. It's time to own those decisions and move forward. As simple as that. Don't let your past hold you hostage to your future. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are even holding our past from allowing us to even just be present and make more conscious decisions and better choices. Let it go. And don't let other people hold it against you. You have to remember that you're human. And I think sometimes as men, we get caught up in the day-to-day that we forget that we are, in fact, just a human. Don't let people take your humanness away. And forgive me for looking at my phone, but I got some points and some notes, and I just want to hit everything. I want to hit everything that I got. The next thing is emotional health matters. Be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. Men cry. I know growing up, a lot of us didn't have that safe space to be emotional and show emotional because the adults around us told us, oh, you're a boy, you're not supposed to cry. That is a lie. You gotta be emotional, because if you suppress your feelings and your emotions, it only hurts you. It's not gonna hurt the next person. It's not gonna hurt the adults that told you that men shouldn't show emotions and cry. You have to talk to somebody. Men, we need support. You know what I'm saying? We need people. We need a team, a support system, whether that be a therapist or just a reliable friend, co-worker, somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, express yourself. It's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. What you don't want to do is be that bitter person that just holds everything in, and then when it all comes out, it's uncontrollable and you end up hurting everybody. And you don't mean any harm by it, but because you've held it in for so long and it came all out at once, now the people that you love the most are affected the most. So you gotta understand that it's okay to seek support when you need it. You again, you're human. And don't forget that. The next thing I want to talk about is healthy relationships. Strong and healthy relationships are essential because we live in a society where human interaction, we thrive off of it, right? And listen, I'm an introvert. I like to be alone. I like to do my own thing, sort of say. But at the same time, I know that I need people. Now, when we say relationships, that looks like a lot because you have your platonic relationships, romantic, just friendships, co-workers, things like that. When I say healthy relationships, I mean literally every aspect of it. So if you are married or you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a partner, a life partner, whatever you want to call it, make sure you are there for them in every aspect, and make sure you communicate what you need in every relationship. Make sure you have boundaries, because just because you are in a relationship of any sort with anybody doesn't mean you shouldn't have boundaries. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you are also there for them and you're not just like completely zoned out and tuned out, because at the end of the day, as men, we should strive for open, honest communication. Again, I know in the past a lot of us didn't have that safe space to just be free and be open about stuff that was bothering us. But look, it's 2024 about to be 2025. Those excuses are no longer valid because there's so many resources. There's so many ways to learn how to communicate in a healthy manner, how to build relationships and things like that. It's too many resources at our fingertips. A quick Google search, a social media search, anything like that will suffice. So the excuses of, oh, women haven't given me the space to be vulnerable. Listen, it's time to put that blame aside and put it away. We trying to better ourselves. We're not pointing a finger no more. And even though that may have been true then, man, like, you grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, take some responsibility. I understand that may have hurt you, and maybe made you feel some type of way, but it's time to let that go and move forward. Create that safe space for yourself. It's not someone else's responsibility. It's not on someone else to give it to you. Create it. Take it. You make it available for other men. Just like I'm opening up this space with this video for other men. The next thing is self-care is crucial. So oftentimes, especially growing up, I know a lot of us have seen like some of the men in our lives literally work and come home, and that was it. They never really took any time for themselves, never really did anything nice for themselves. I didn't know what a self-care day was, or what self-care was for that matter, until maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Take care of yourself. Take a day just from you, away from the family, away from the kids, no matter what that look like. That may look like you just chilling in bed, binge watching TV. Maybe you like to cook. Maybe you like to go to the range. You know, maybe video games is your thing. Whatever it is, it's okay to take that time for yourself. Especially after working and trying to take care of yourself and bills and things like that. And you got to deal with coworkers and bosses and managers. And if you got a family, you probably have a wife and kids. That's extra responsibility. Make sure you tending to your needs and taking care of you. Because at the end of the day, in order for everything else around you to function, you have to be good. You have to be in a good head space, a good mental space. You know what I'm saying? So take the time out to just be you. Get some good exercise in. Exercise a couple of days a week. Eat nutritious meals. It's cool to eat the unhealthy stuff every now and then, but make sure you're getting your fruits and taking your vitamins and things like that, and just being mindful of your overall wellness, because that's what's going to prolong us and keep us going, right? The next thing is, stop blaming a girl from high school that broke your heart as to why you treat women the way you treat women. No, you just not good people. You're not a good man at the moment. And you can change that. You know what I'm saying? But that woman that broke your heart in high school has moved on, man. That shouldn't determine how you treat every woman in your life now. That relationship that didn't work out, that bad breakup that broke you to your core, that broke you down, isn't an excuse to treat women poorly. It's not. Again, you grown, you're an adult, act like it. Stop holding on to that. Stop holding on to that hurt. Stop holding on and blaming, the women in your life, your mom or your aunties and your sisters and things like that, on how they treated you and stuff. And I'm not saying not to invalidate your experiences and invalidate the things that you've been through. But again, we have resources at our fingertips. Go to therapy, talk that stuff out. Get that off your chest. Move on. It's time for you to be a better man for you. That way you can be a better man for hopefully the women in your life, whether that be your sisters and your mamas, your nieces, and maybe your wife and your daughters. You know what I'm saying? It's time to let go of that hurt. Talk it out, man. Get it off your chest. But in the year of 2024, if you still mistreating women for any reason, it's bogus. Let alone still mistreating women because you were hurt by your high school sweetheart. So just be mindful, man. Like, let's stop making excuses. Let's come together to be better men, to be a better man. And only you know what that looks like for you. Only you know your goals and your aspirations in this life. So you have to create that space for yourself. Build it out how you see fit. And with that being said, man, I'm going to get out of here. Be sure to check the descriptions for all of the other information, the website, the clothing brand fashions.com, the link to a Quick Little Word podcast, for the audio is linked. My book is linked. So be sure to check all of that stuff out. Share this with somebody. Like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, peace, love, and happiness.